If you look at the flags of the American, European, and Asian countries, they are very different from each other. Of course, there are a handful that have similar motifs, but these can be quickly recognized by their arrangement. However, if you look at the flags of the African countries, you will immediately notice that many of them are very similar. The green, yellow, and red color scheme is particularly pronounced in West Africa. If you look at the flags of Mali and Guinea, for example, the only difference is the order of the colors. The other color combination, which occurs somewhat less frequently, is red, green, and black. But why are these two color combinations so common among African countries? Is this similarity merely a coincidence, or does it reveal a deeper story? The answer takes us back to the 1920s, to the movement known as PanAfricanism. This movement advocated the unity of all people of African descent, regardless of whether they lived in Africa or were dispersed to other parts of the world because of colonialism and slavery. The colors red, green, and black were first established as a symbol for the Pan-African movement by Marcus Garvey's Universal Negro Improvement Association. Red symbolizes the bloodshed in the struggle for freedom, black stands for the African people, and green for the fertile lands of the continent. The flag is also known as the Afro-American flag, Black Liberation flag, and Unia flag. But these colors are not the only ones to be found on many flags. A second important color scheme comes from Ethiopia, a nation with special significance in African history. In particular, Ethiopia's victory against Italy in the Battle of Adwa in 1896 made the country a symbol of resistance to colonialism. Emperor Haile Selassie also later played a central role in Pan-Africanism and contributed to the spread of the Ethiopian colors. Ethiopia was one of the few countries in Africa that was never fully colonized and thus became a symbol of African strength and independence. The colors of the Ethiopian flag, green, yellow, and red, represent hope, peace, and the sacrifices of freedom. In the 1950s and 1960s, many African states became independent and looked for symbols that represented their common identity and the break with the colonial era. The Pan-African colors became a popular motif. They appear today in the flags of Ghana, Senegal, Mali, Cameroon, and many others. However, each nation interprets the colors individually, giving the flags their unique meanings. In Ghana, for example, red stands for the blood of freedom fighters, yellow for prosperity, and green for the forests. Another important element is the star, which can be seen on many African flags. The star often symbolizes unity, hope, or the wish for the country to develop into a better future. Coats of arms, tools, or natural elements such as plants are also used to emphasize the uniqueness of each country. There are also a few flags that combine the two color palettes. For example, those of Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Eswatini, or South Sudan. Mozambique's is particularly interesting because, in addition to the star, they also have a book with a Kalashnikov and a hand plough integrated into the emblem. They stand for education, defense, and vigilance, and agriculture. The Pan-African colors and symbols have even spread beyond the African continent. In the Caribbean, for example, where the Rastafarian movement sees Ethiopia, especially Emperor Haile Selassie, as the returned Messiah. The colors green, yellow, and red are closely associated with the movement and are often used in symbols, flags, and clothing. The colors of the Unia flag were also adopted in the USA, particularly by the Black Power movement in the 1960s, to emphasize their demand for self-determination and cultural identity. The similarities between the flags, therefore, not only show the solidarity of Africa, but also how history, culture, and symbolism are shared across borders. The flags are more than just pieces of colored fabric. They are a message, a reminder, and a source of pride. That's it for today. Which African flag do you think is the most beautiful, and which one surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments. If you want to learn more about the dark history of Tenerife, I can recommend my video about it. Have fun watching, and see you next time. Ciao.